All right, so welcome to another Creative Spin podcast, the podcast that brings you a weekly view on real life experiences by business owners, by people, by life. We try to keep these conversations really light, really cool, and really creative as much as we can. Today we have with us Frank Bento. He's the owner of Moliceiro Restaurant here in Toronto, and we're gonna talk about creative food. Why not? A little bit. No? Yeah. Okay. Are you ready for it?
Yeah, sure.
All right.
Let's do it.
And before we start the questions and answers, we just got to say that today's show is brought to you by Creative 7, a digital and social media design studio, catering to all your design needs. Creative 7 is the one-stop shop for branding, marketing, social media, video, podcasting. We do everything. Yes, Creative 7 is our mother company, the one that started all of this stuff about 14 years ago. And is the one responsible to getting all of this ready, the podcast, the video cast, and all this kind of stuff. So let's jump in to the questions. Frank, thank you for visiting us.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, fun fact, we actually tried to do a podcast before.
Yep.
And then there was a lot of stuff going on that day, and it was interesting.
Just didn't work out.
Do we say that was technical issues or
technical people, dog issues. We had a dog issue as well going on.
My fridges really wanted to be part of the conversation.
Yeah, so we tried to do this at Frank's location, and it didn't quite work out. It's a restaurant, and granted, these things,
So you can't have silence in a restaurant.
No, we can't. It is what it is.
Okay.
So today we finally, after a few months, we got you back, and we're going to continue that conversation, and I'm going to start by asking you, what, in your opinion, obviously, what have been some of the challenges of being in this business of the restaurant business?
Biggest one, time management.
Funny, we tackled that one on one of our podcasts.
Yeah, you'd be really surprised how fast things eat up all your time and how hard it is to find time to do anything else. And even the whole work-life balance, trying to maintain your personal life and feeling that you just have to focus everything on the business and trying to get everything done, everything you want to get done. And then every little thing, even though something might delay you on your day for 10 minutes, but it delays your entire plan by weeks.
Do you schedule your daily chores, like the things that you have to do on a day-to-day basis?
Yes and no. There's I'm gonna say a basic skeleton about basic job roles
and overall view.
Yeah,
right?
There's a basic list of responsibilities and I get done in the morning. You walk in, clean the bathrooms, broom the floor, mop the floors, kitchen prep.
You're touching in an interesting point. A lot of times people think that just because you're the owner of a business,
you don't do anything else.
You don't do anything else other than
I
walk
scrub a
around
lot of
and
toilets.
boss people around, right?
Yep.
But it's like you're saying, we have to take care of the cleaning part. We have to take, when it's a small company, you need to take care of everything. But you've been used to doing this even before you owned the restaurant because your parents also had a restaurant, right?
Yeah. So I grew up in the business. It's stuff that I'm used to. I want to say it's not something that shocked me that I had to do. It's not it's like you said, I'm the owner. It's not like I walked in and be like, I have to clean the bathrooms. No. So it's and then even I'm gonna say second nature. Mm-hmm. So that's kind of why I follow this skeleton structure of daily tasks. So I walk into work and I know of the basic stuff that needs to get done. And then I'll be honest, some of the other stuff I get done doesn't really get scheduled. It's wherever I can find time to get whatever done. And then I have to prioritize certain tasks based on whatever time I can find. So if I got 30 minutes over here, I probably have a mental list of certain tasks that take me 30 minutes. I have a mental list of certain tasks that takes me more than an hour. And then I'll just try to fit whatever I can get. I should probably sit down and schedule it better, but the restaurant industry, especially in the situation that I'm in where I have to be the boss and I also have to be a server and I also have to be a cook,
There's a lot of hats, this one.
There's no consistency in my schedule for me to sit down and be like,
And then all the other surprises that come up, right? It's
Yeah,
not,
yeah,
it's
like
not
some-
like what you
you-
have just scheduled, but then all of a sudden this guy comes in and says, I want to have a party, or I want to do this,
Yeah.
or
So I gotta drop whatever I'm doing to kind of
Yeah.
give the information, or even sometimes Jamie walks in, Frank, I'm here for our meeting. Oh, that's today.
yeah, we're here to record some stuff. Really? Okay.
All right, let me. Yeah, I'm all ready for it. Give me 2 seconds. You know what I mean? So it's
Yeah.
like,
But it's interesting that you say that you know, one day you're the chef, the other day you're the waiter, whatever. How important is it for, in your case, for the business owner to actually know all the aspects of the business?
oh man, it's probably the most important thing, because when something is not getting done, and when a need arises, you're the first person on the list that needs to fill in that spot. And
I always say
It
that,
also-
that business owners have to know how to do a little bit of everything just in case something happens.
yeah,
right?
and it's not even so much about getting job roles done. For example, because I'm sole proprietor and I got to do, quote unquote, do everything, I need to know a little bit of everything, so it makes it easier for me to make judgment calls. Sometimes I'm in a situation where I don't got 10 minutes to go talk to somebody in the kitchen. I don't have 10 minutes to go figure something out. I'm in a moment, I need to make a decision. I need to know enough about what's going on in my back of house to make a decision that's not going to affect everybody in a negative way, or
Yeah,
at least
yeah.
make the best decision I can make in that moment. So I kind of need to know how things are working, or have some sort of thought process on how things should be working, where I can make that decision without.
But do you find that you're evolving in terms of finding, you know, these little micro solutions that will help you in the macro of the business, right? That's there's a ringer. But what I'm saying is, so throughout these last couple of years now that you've been testing the grounds as well, right? Because
Yep.
you've got different people working with you, and different situations have come up, and you've learned with that. Have you seen an increase in like your schedule being now more organized, or you can actually schedule and just take care of things a little bit better, or you still feel like everything is still a surprise almost every day?
No, everything's still a surprise. Speaking about like organizational like tasks and things, like one of the lessons that I had to learn on maybe on a personal level is how to delegate more. Finding people to trust is always the hardest part.
Yeah.
But you can trust a large amount of people with certain tasks. There's a lot of new main things that I've done.
Interesting. Why is it so hard to delegate? This seems to be a common factor in business owners.
Yes, no, and I have the perfect, well, I guess, quote unquote, perfect answer is because it's hard to delegate because everybody has a different thought process. I can be in a situation where maybe my head chef is in the same situation, we'll come to different conclusions. And then I can give him the autonomy or trust him enough to make his own conclusion, but then even on a personal level, and then separating emotions from business is also very difficult. But the conclusion and the decision he might have come to, I don't agree with on maybe more than one level, on maybe on an emotional level, on maybe on a professional level.
Yeah.
So then that would affect me, and
I think it really comes down to that.
So that's why you can't
We
trust.
have our own expectations, and it's hard for us to pass on those expectations to somebody else because our thought process is different. And I think I struggle with that all the time as well. Now, as I'm getting older and more gray hair, I'm realizing, you know what, I might not need to have the design done at 100% the way I like it. It can be at 80% the way I like it. It doesn't mean that it's bad. It's just not the way I personally like it. And I think it's giving that little bit of a freedom away. That's the hard part. It is hard. It is hard.
like, and no, that's kind of exactly it. Like, I want to know, because that fear is like when I am not on location or I'm not on site, for
What's
example,
gonna
if I'm
happen?
on vacation or whatever, I'm like, are the decisions made within the guidelines that I set? Are the decisions made? They might not be, for example, like you said, maybe it's 80% to what I might have done. But what's always in the back of my head is, was it good enough for my customer?
Yeah, that's true too.
You know what I mean? It's just like, did the decision my head chef made when I was there, or did the decision that my front manager made when I wasn't there, what was my customer's reaction to that decision? And that's something I might not know until 2 or 3 days until I get a review online, or until I get an email, or until I get a phone call. And I'm not saying it might be a negative thing, but I didn't know if it went positive.
Well, sometimes there's those pleasant surprises,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, right.
In which,
But that's the
you
thing.
know,
Like, I don't know which way it went.
Yeah.
Because if it was a positive thing, that might be something I would like to know, because that could be a thought process I can apply to
You can
future
work on
decisions.
it.
But
Yeah.
isn't that funny though? Like you'll probably get a negative reaction instantly. Like people will talk bad about it right away. But if it's something good, I guess people are just expecting that to be that way. So they won't say anything. But you as a business owner, you would love to hear that, because you know, you want to know if your chef made the right decision, if your server did the right thing, right?
Yeah, because it's just like, I'm not always going to make the right decisions.
And you're not always there to see it too, right?
So if I'm not there, a decision was made. I don't know if it went right or wrong, but if it went right, I would have liked to know, because maybe it's like, oh, you know what? I would have done the other way, but if the customer liked that way, then I'm going to do it that way instead of my way.
Exactly. So you basically correct the way you're
Yeah,
doing.
like I'm not saying that my employees will not think correctly, but I'm also saying that I can also learn.
Exactly. Yeah, it's all a learning process. Now, when it comes to the food and the dishes and preparing all that stuff, this is where I think the creative side comes in, and you guys, you know, you need to come up with dishes that are pleasant. Well, they need to really taste good, and then they have to look good. All of this process of coming up with a dish or revamping a dish that we know. Your restaurant is very much based on the Portuguese cuisine. You know, those plates have been around for a long time. What are you guys doing to try to kind of revamp the whole situation? Do you guys sit down? Do you have meetings about it? Do you try new things? Talk about the process.
Well, I guess for us, mostly the way is we still stay rooted in traditional culinary practices for Portuguese kitchen. We do some sort of modern twist, but what makes me different compared to other Portuguese restaurants is I am of the opinion a lot of other Portuguese restaurants stay closed within our community. And I feel like I'm maybe one of very few restaurants that branch out into a very general community
mainstream.
Just I kind of go for everybody, you know, like I'm a little bit more involved in Instagram and Facebook and the social media aspect. I do have some sort of advertisements within my community, because again, everybody's welcome there.
Yeah, of course.
But I do feel like what my difference is not so much trying to change the culinary landscape of Portuguese cuisine, but it's just really introducing people to Portuguese cuisine, because like no one talks about Portuguese food like, oh, let's go out and get some Chinese food. Let's go out and get sushi. Let's go out and do this.
Even though Portugal now seems to be the destination, right? Everybody wants to go to Portugal. Do you feel almost a responsibility to bring a taste of Portugal to Toronto?
Yes,
do you see it that way? Yeah.
No, just because like I've been in, my family's owned like a little Portuguese takeout shop, and countless times we've had people come to our place and have maybe the leitão, which is like the whole roasted piglet, and eat it and be like, oh, is this what this is supposed to taste like? You know what I mean? It's just like, yeah. So it's like I do feel a little bit responsible to like. That's why, even though some of my dishes look a little modern, the base recipe is very traditional. Yeah. It's very authentic. It's like, this is what you will have back home. It'll probably be dressed a little different. But
what is one of like the most popular ones you find people?
My most popular dishes are the ones that we haven't changed at all. They're the ones that are strictly traditional. Like we do the grilled cod, we do a grilled octopus, the polvo alegreiro. That's my best seller. Our house steak, the beef a casa with just the fried egg.
And those have not changed.
Those have not changed. We have no plans on changing those. Those are still my top sellers on a week by week basis, because it's like I said, like most people come to a Portuguese restaurant.
They come the traditional, right?
For the traditional. When I first opened, I really tried to be a modern take on Portuguese cuisine, and I did not have success going down that route. So I found more success sticking to my guns and being more traditional. And
so you're almost like an ambassador for Portugal here in Toronto, right?
Yeah. Just
when it comes to food.
Yeah, for my generation.
There you go. So with all of these, how long have you been open now?
2 years and 8 months.
Oh, wow. Time does fly. Since then, what would you say would be the greatest lesson you've learned, like since the day you opened the door?
Oh, that's a hard one.
Get you thinking a little bit here. Too bad we don't have a little, a beat talk here to eat while we wait.
Yeah, like and especially being put on the spot now, trying to like sift through everything in the back of my head.
Okay, that's okay. Me and Anna, we can still keep on talking. So how's your day been?
Awesome.
It's okay. It's
Talking
all
about
good.
all this food, I feel like a polvo alligator now because I do love it.
While in the back of your mind you're thinking about that, I know that you can, just
We're
put that in the back of
dissecting
your
food.
mind, and we're gonna start talking about other stuff. You touched a little bit on how you're presenting your restaurant in terms of advertising for it and all of that. What do you think about the integration of social media? And of course, I had to grab this question because yes.
Hey.
But what do you?
There's always an agenda.
There's always an agenda. Always. What do you think of it? Like, do you think that for your kind of business, so the restaurant business, do you think social media is good, bad, okay? Give me your thoughts.
All right, no, it's excellent, and it goes back to that whole thing about decisions my employees made or the feedback concept. Like when you post, because Jamie handles my Instagram account, so when you post my posts and I see people commenting and I see the likes coming in, maybe not so much about the likes, but at least when people will take time out of their day to actually write something and comment on a picture, I can get that instant feedback.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's versus traditional media where people watch my commercials, but unless they actually are coming into my restaurant and telling me, oh, I seen you on the commercial, I seen your commercial, I have no idea, right? But it's not like it doesn't completely work. But now being on Instagram and that post going up and in 30 minutes, I got a few comments and people be like, oh, that looks good, or da-da-da-da-da-da-da. I can instantly adjust.
And the versatility of being able to showcase
versatility is probably,
because I think when it comes to traditional, and I always feel like I'm banging on traditional media, and I probably am, but instead of having just one image pop up, like you have one commercial done and you're running it for 30 days, you're going to have, a post every day with a different plate, a different angle, a different suggestion, a different thing. So in that sense, it helps you, right?
Yeah, it's adaptive.
Yeah. So are you ready to go back to the other question now?
Oh.
I'm giving you enough time.
All right, so it's like no, but if
biggest lesson,
biggest lesson
like a
for me,
teacher
it's
now.
just like and it's probably not even too much business related, because like even just to give you the most honest answer is, I was very much an introvert. Well, when I opened this place,
I would say so.
Yeah. So my biggest lesson from this business was growing as a person and being able to deal, like, I'm going to use the word deal with people and interacting with people, and how to balance people's emotions and feelings, and
always trying to be in that middle point, even though, sometimes it's hard. We all know how,
Yeah. And like, well, because it's like you said, in lessons, like being a boss is hard. And I'll be honest, it's not the work. It's not the 16-hour days that kill me. It's sitting down and talking to my staff,
dealing
talking
with
to my
people,
customers,
dealing with clients and staff.
Treading very carefully, watching people's emotions. You're not there to be a bad guy. Sometimes people take it wrong.
Yeah.
And then
But you still need to stay truthful to yourself.
Yeah.
Right.
Like,
and that is the big lesson. Yeah.
You need that backbone.
Yeah.
Right. And it's and that was a backbone that I had to develop. That was my biggest lesson. It's just kind of growing as a person and learning how to, it's like you said, standing firm for your own business. Like I have a vision.
Yeah. Well, I have to say, since I've been interacting with you in the last couple of years, you've definitely changed in that aspect. And Anna can go even further.
That's why I said I would say so.
So, fun fact for the viewers and the listeners is that Anna was Frank's teacher
when
back
he was in grade 9.
when you, oh my gosh.
My first year as a teacher.
Your first year as a teacher. Jeez.
Well, my first year of school.
Well,
we were both learning, see?
There you go. Okay. So you say that he was
a quiet
kid.
student,
Okay.
sitting at the front, which is very unusual for boys. They usually sit at the back, right?
Really? Okay.
Yeah, Frank and I forget, there was another one, if I'm
get
not
some
mistaken.
dirt.
They used to sit at the front. But and I'm not saying this because you're here, but you were always like that one student that was always there and ready. You could tell sometimes he was bored, which is normal.
It's school. It's high school. What are you gonna do, right?
So I had one of those fathers, right? So it's like,
but not always. But no, that's the thing. Like you were quiet, but a good student. So I'm not surprised that you're in business now.
Frank, is there any message that you want to leave the audience with?
yeah, everybody needs to have their own business. I
Say
know
that again.
Good one.
everybody needs to start their own business.
Why?
Because it's what's going to make you learn the fastest, and it's what's going to give you the best life lessons. And it's no matter when I went into business and everybody always told me, oh, it's going to be hard this, it's going to be hard that. No matter what verbal warning people told me, it doesn't prepare you for the actual experience.
No, it doesn't.
The stress of the finances, the stress of making sure everything's done properly and on time, and the stress of making sure things are going to go fine the next day and that you're going to open your doors the next day. And that, for me, is what's going to prepare you for life, actual life.
Yeah, absolutely. I 100% agree with you.
Not going to work for somebody else. Not going in, doing your job, walking out, and enjoying the rest of your life.
Because the business side of things, people.
I'm not saying that no one's job is easy.
No, for sure. But I 100% get you. I mean, I've been in business now for almost 15 years. And a lot of times I think that the general consensus is that, you open a restaurant and they only see that side, the front side of the restaurant. When they look at people walking around serving, they don't understand the whole thing that you were just saying, like the economics, all the budgeting, all of the people issues. And I think, yeah, it does really help you in life. I feel the same way. I'm a totally different person than I was.
Oh, absolutely.
From when I started the business to who I am today. And yeah, I think everybody should try it. Should at least try it, to at least say that, you know what, it's hard.
It is, because it's a different sense of responsibility. Like, I feel prepared now to have a family.
Yeah.
When
It
I ever
allows
go
you to
down.
grow as an individual.
You know, and it's like, and
Because you translate a lot of those experiences directly into your life.
yeah.
I mean, when you're talking about money, the money side of the business, well, guess what? You put that into your personal life as well, and then you can organize your life, right? It helps you in every single aspect.
Yeah, and it's just you learn the fastest when you struggle.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you always reflect back to going back to school in high school and always complaining about doing homework.
Yeah.
And everyone says the same thing. Oh, what I'd give to go back to school.
And a lot of times it is pointless, that homework, right? But it it is. But don't look at me that way.
Oh no, yeah, but,
No.
But it kind of teaches you a lesson too, and one of them is to really stay on task, even if it's not the most pleasant thing to do, right? And
so it's the discipline.
Yeah.
yeah, exactly.
It's the discipline, and especially when you own your own business, you can never falter. Like, it's gonna happen. Like, I've had some days where it's a Saturday night and I told my staff I can't work anymore. There's one night I made a mistake.
It's always like that.
There was one night I made a
that,
mistake
yeah.
on every table. I was messing up the kitchen. I was messing up my staff. I literally told my guys, like, I'm sorry.
Yeah, my day today has been kind of like
Similar.
that, but we're changing it around. That's the other thing you learn
Right.
how to do quickly is, you learn how to, face the problem, change it around, and just go in a different direction.
Yeah. You also appreciate your humanity more.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
Well, Frank, thank you so much for being here. Really appreciate it. We didn't get interrupted by any fridge, dog, or actually we had a couple of couriers there that day as well, right?
Oh yeah, we
Delivering
did.
stuff, yeah. So we didn't get interrupted by
Hey,
any
when it
one
rains,
of
it
those,
pours.
none of those issues today. So thank you for being here. We'll keep on going to Moliceiro and having those tasty lunches and dinners. Keep up the good work, and we'll catch you on the next one.
Oh no, thanks a lot. Pleasure to be here, guys.